Save your money. If you're in a job search, why are you out here spending money? Yeah. Don't do it. Welcome to Job Search Stories. I'm Jen, a career coach and your go-to gal for all things career advice.
And I'm Gina, and we're here to help you navigate this crazy world of job searching and hopefully help you get your next job.
And today, we're going to be reacting to bad resumes. And then we're going to be telling you what we would do to fix them.
Get ready, because there are a lot of them, but we're here to help. First, we want to just address this new beautiful set.
We got an upgrade, y'all.
We look so good, too. We're matching the set.
I'd venture to say we look great.
We look great. And also, we want to try some new things. So let's react to some stuff on Reddit.
I love Reddit. You know I'm a Reddit girly.
Jen is a Reddit girly. She loves Reddit. So the Reddit post is asking employers of Reddit, what is the funniest, craziest, or weirdest thing you've seen on a resume? The first one says, underwater ceramics and glass cleaner for a multi-million-dollar company, but it actually meant dishwasher at Chili's.
Well, they definitely get points for creativity.
Very creative.
They used a lot of words, but unfortunately, they really didn't give appropriate context. Just tell me what you did.
Application at a restaurant I managed years ago. It said prior experience, school cook, and then it said reason for leaving, the passioned lefted.
How are you going to say you've got attention to detail if you're misspelling words left and right? It's often cited as the number one mistake that recruiters see and that can disqualify somebody for a role. It's really interesting because the National Library of Medicine actually conducted a study, and what they found was if you have spelling or errors on your resume, that you are 18.5% less likely to receive an interview.
Oof, you're always telling me, have someone read your resume. So last one I have for you is, had a guy apply to work the cash register at a store I managed. He had no work history, but was like 35 to 40 years old, saw he put down that he had a felony armed robbery on his record and had been in prison for most of his adult life. I was managing the store that he once held up. Wow, I've never come across something like this.
That's information you don't have to disclose right away on your resume, but it was a choice to put it on there.
These were very wild. I've also seen some very interesting advice about resumes on social media. So I want you to let me know if you think that this advice is good or not. And then also I want to just share some comments that people have left asking about this resume advice.
Yeah, let's go through it.
It says that resumes should not include a full street address. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Definitely agree. Nobody needs to know exactly where you live. It can be helpful to include the city and the state, especially if what you're applying for is an on-site position, or you could also just include nothing, especially if you're looking for remote roles.
Don't show 20 plus years of experience on your resume.
Agree. The typical range that you might see recommended is between 10 to 15. Really, you got to think about the reasoning why. One, if you have a lot of years of experience on there, unfortunately, it can, lead to an age bias. But also, you want to be tailoring your resume, right? So you want to be focusing on relevant information. So you may not even need all of that information on there.
Last one, resumes should not include dates of education.
Disagree, just because when you look at education, it's not necessarily that black and white of saying just a blanket statement of you don't want to include it on there. If you're a recent graduate, you can leave those dates on there because it's usually the most recent thing that you've done. And that's really what you're thinking about. So within the last 3 years graduation, you want to go ahead and keep that on there. After 3 years, you can go ahead and pull that off. What's missing from a lot of advice on social media is context. You're an individual, you're on your own journey. So sometimes you just have to take the advice and see if it actually is relevant to you. Because just what we saw, some of it is really good advice, but there are some nuances that are naturally going to appear because everybody's job search is individual.
Yes, very true. Always dropping the gems. Let's correct some resumes. That's what the people are here for.
And since this is a new segment, we're looking to do more of these in the future. So if you ever want to submit your resume, portfolio, or cover letter to us, just send it to jobsearchstories@indeed.com and we could review your item on a future episode.
We're gonna look at 3 different resumes. These are ones that we've just found on Reddit. We're just gonna see what we can do to improve them. Let's look at this resume. What do you think is good about this resume? What do we like about it?
Just structurally, it has the components of a good resume. Okay. It's got clear section headers. They've got their skills, their experience all lined out. It appears to be one page, which is great. They've got a lot of bullet points on there. There's some really good meat in there, but it does need a little bit of finessing.
What do you think we can improve about this resume?
I think the biggest improvement that they're gonna find is actually within the bullet points of the experience itself. So one thing that you can see as you look through it is that they've essentially just copy and pasted what the job description was. They're kind of listing responsibilities as opposed to actually saying what they did, how they did it, and then what the outcome is. Even as a busser, there is quantitative information that they could put in there, right? Yeah. They could talk about how busy the restaurant was. They could talk about more context into the type of environment that they worked in. That's really what's going to give them the most improvement. That objective at the top of that experience after busser can absolutely go away. They really don't need it. Really just kind of limiting the number of bullet points. If they wanted to just stick to 4 or 5, they also don't need that reason for departure. I think people do a really good job about listing what they did, but it's the how they did it and the outcome that is often just overlooked. Sometimes they just want to show that if they're applying for a similar role, that they've already done that type of work before. And so it is important context, but you want to go further than that. And it's really important to do too, because there was a Glassdoor survey that shows that 60% of employers spend the most time reviewing the work experience section of your resume. So they're really looking at it and they're really looking to understand how you did the work and what was the impact of your work. If you're gonna spend any amount of time tailoring your resume, make sure that the work experience is a section that you're really looking at.
Is there anything else that you would change or improve about this resume?
I think when you look at the top, they included their date of birth. Definitely remove that. This resume would benefit from a professional summary where they can specifically say, I'm a senior in high school, just to kind of give that context that they're not going to be available for full-time work. They also have their availability specifically identified on there. They could either work that into the professional summary or save that for a cover letter if needed. I would reorganize this. They can start with their experience. They should also put the education at the top since they are still in high school. It's just good to set the tone that they're a student. Some of the other things I would include in there within their skills section, they focused all on soft skills. Go through and add some additional hard skills. Just depends on the type of role that they're applying for, but I would take a look at the job description and kind of see what that individual has and then what the new role is looking for.
Let's move on to the next resume. Just starting out, what do we like?
There's a lot of information on this resume. It's almost like information overload to where you don't necessarily know where your eyes should be looking. They have all of the information there. They just need to tailor it and just start pulling things out.
What can we improve?
I am not a fan of 2-column resumes, and the main reason is because of an applicant tracking system. Sometimes applicant tracking systems cannot parse 2 columns on a resume, so it's pretty much always going to be in your best interest to stick to 1 column. Their skills section is very large. What they would definitely want to do is combine those two and just kind of list the skills. They don't need to give all of the explanation in there. They just really need to lean in and embrace some white space. So I think this is a common mistake that people make where they want to include everything on there, but it's not necessarily. You can pull back.
Is this a common mistake that people make on their resume, the information overload?
Absolutely. This person here kind of fell into the trap because they've got some really really great experience, you can tell. And so they really feel like they want to put all of it on there. But I promise you, if you look at the job description and really just focus on including information that speaks to what you've done in the past, that aligns with what they're looking for, you're going to be able to find a way to just trim out some of the extra content to really have a focused resume.
How would you get this resume together?
Professional summary is way too long. Really want it to be 2 to 3 sentences max. Start trimming out some of the extra bits that aren't necessarily speaking to what experience they have that's aligned with what the new role is. I really don't like the green bar at the top. It's really unnecessary and they're wasting some space on there. Their resume may not feel as crowded if they use that space for more detail. Also, it can already tell that their name is really small. Your name should be 16 to 18 point. It should be the largest piece of information. Really kind of call that information out and let them know whose resume they're looking at.
I hope this person watches this and sees all the amazing advice you gave them on their resume. Next resume, what do we like?
I like that they have a lot of skills, education, and certification information. That is so important to include.
What are the biggest improvements you would make to this resume?
1 column, please. Also,
I know what you're gonna say.
Then you say it.
Why is there a photo?
Why is there a photo
resume?
on your resume?
I've never seen that before.
There's never a good time to have a photo on your resume. And I'll tell you why. Again, it's about trying to avoid bias and discrimination. You want to put yourself up and kind of represent yourself in a way which you can really be evaluated on your experience. I think one other interesting addition that this resume has is their social handle. Unless you're applying for a job in social media where that might be important information for them to review, you don't want to have that on there. And again, it's privacy reasons.
We're hoping you watch this and you get this advice and you're safe and sound.
Yeah, and I just want to know what job they're applying for.
Yeah.
Because that really makes all the difference. And that would allow them to, again, not have every single role listed, or if they're going to have those roles listed, have every bullet point reflective of why it was important to include that based on the job description. Like, why is that bullet point relevant? There are instances where you look at a resume and you can give some advice, but without knowing what they're applying for or what type of company they're going to be sending it to, there's a limit to how helpful a review can be.
We just fixed some resumes. By we, I mean you. Okay, moving on. I want to giggle. I want to laugh. So I want to show you something to just make you giggle and laugh before we end this.
I want to see it.
No more job applications asking if they can contact a previous employer. Like, why are you so insecure? Don't worry about my ex. Let's focus on us. I agree. Let's focus on you and me.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about my past employer. They're not important to me anymore.
It's so interesting to me, too, the types of roles or companies where they're doing this type of background check. I can honestly say that as I've leveled up in my career, they're not doing those reference checks.
I mean, I don't. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Job Search Stories. If you have any questions for us, make sure you drop them in the comments down below. And if you have anything you ever want us to cover in any future videos, also leave us a comment. And make sure to like and subscribe this video. Bye.
Bye.
Hopefully help you, little boop. And hopefully help you get your job, little boop, boop.
And it's actually really interesting because, oh my God, why is it interesting? There's a good rule of thumb.
Okay. So I said okay 37 times. Oh, you're just telling people my full name? Do you want to give them my social security number?
It's literally in the graphic.